Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah!
We got it! We got it!
New 52 booklet.
Somebody clip this.
Welcome to Justice League Rewatch. I am Jared. I'm here with Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up, brother?
Jared, I have a question for you.
I'm sure you do. So today
Does A really equal A?
Not really. So today we are going to be discussing Question Authority.
This is quite the questionable episode.
Yes, and this is part of the legendary Cadmus Arc, which
Emphasis on legendary.
Emphasis on legendary. So the first thing I want to say is that this episode had to feature Lois Lane and Superman on a date.
I was watching this, and as soon as I saw that...
Yeah, this is me. You ready?
What is this?
This is a Clois episode.
No one cares for... By the way, we record these on Sunday, and I just spent about 5 hours marathoning the Suicide Squad game with Taladia, and whenever Lois Lane came on the TV, I would shoot the TV.
Oh, you went full... you did what I did in Arkham Asylum.
Yes, exactly. I channeled my inner Nick, except I didn't make stupid puns. That's just me. So...
Well, then you didn't go full Nick. You always go full Nick.
Yes. So this was the episode... It's kind of interesting. This is kind of a continuation of two different episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, the Justice Lords.
Yeah.
Which I really, really, really dug this because it's like, because obviously they're introducing the multiverse. Well, not introducing, continuing the multiverse. But the thing about it, and Nick, you can give me your thoughts on this. They do it in a way that's easy to understand. I mean, compare the way they're introducing the multiverse in this show than the way Marvel introduced the multiverse in the MCU.
DC did it better, per usual.
Well, yeah, DC is naturally better than Marvel. And by the way, since we're talking about the multiverse, I happened to be at my LCS the other day, and I wanted to pick this up. This is a facsimile edition. I want to be clear on that. The Flash of Two Worlds.
Ooh.
The introduction of the DC multiverse. So I just wanted to, it's kind of fortuitous that we're talking about this. One could say I can't say we planned it because we really didn't plan it, but screw it. So what was...
By the way,
mm-hmm.
If you ever do a Pantheon versus Justice League crossover, one of the covers has to be Hermes and the Flash reenacting that.
Oh, what I could probably do would be kind of fun is like, I'm gonna, for the trading cards of each book, of each character, I'm gonna have them recreate like the Action Comics cover, the Detective Comics, the Flash of Two Worlds, or something like that. I'll recreate famous covers for the cards. But anyway, back to this. This episode is also continuing on the Huntress Question episode, which basically deals with like their relationship and the Question's obsession with conspiracy theories. Chief among them, I love when he's being tortured and he just starts naming off conspiracy theories.
Just tell me what you've learned.
Topically applied fluoride doesn't prevent tooth decay. It does render teeth detectable by spy satellite.
I love the one about the shoelaces.
The plastic tips at the ends of shoelaces are called aglets. Their true purpose is sinister.
Yes, I was this close to going, please say Epstein didn't kill himself.
Well,
it didn't happen in the show, but I get why it wasn't the show. But I was like, oh come on. I was like, okay, fine. I half expected that. In other words,
You know what's crazy is
What?
Epstein stuff goes back so far. Like they could have actually called him out in this episode, and it would
Yeah,
have been.
I know, right? But so back to this. So the question essentially discovers the whole Justice Lords thing, which it's kind of odd that Lex Luthor was able to get security camera footage from the White House in a different multiverse, but okay.
He's Lex Luthor.
Yeah, exactly. He is a little Lex Luthor. And Nick, these nice people have heard me talk enough for right now. How about what do you think of this episode?
I really liked it. If for nothing else than the Steve Ditko tribute they did. I wouldn't. That's like the thing I haven't been able to shut up ever since we started the series. Is when the Question goes to confront Lex Luthor. He says A equals A, which is a call out to Steve Ditko's character, Mr. A, who Mr. A is clearly Mr. A. I mean, the Question is basically just a version of Mr. A.
Mm-hmm. Which that's
so,
cool. And by the way, that's listed in our trivia, by the way. And of course, Nick, we can always use more Huntress, right?
I gotta say, she's actually a pretty good girlfriend.
Yeah, she is. She protects her man. And I love her. She likes, because you know what's kind of funny? When you ask, like, how'd she get Jimmy Olsen's watch? And I'm like, she probably showed up and threatened him, and Jimmy just handed it over. And you know, it's kind of funny. People say Superman's a big blue Boy Scout. Say what you will about Superman, but when Question was messing, he even said, "No, you and I are going to handle this off the books."
Yeah, this Superman, his heart's definitely in the right place, but he'll go dark if he has to. Like, but to him, there's a line. Like he'll stretch the line. Like he'll stretch the rules, but he'll never break them.
It's kind of funny. This is even a different Superman. It feels like a different Superman than the one, the Captain Marvel episode, because that one was quite an experience. So the idea of this is that like this is kind of a plot that's being echoed in DC Comics now, where Amanda Waller is coming up with contingency plans against the superheroes. Where have we seen that before? That's a whole lot of babble, Nick. That's a lot of babble.
I was trying to think of a babble pun to make when you literally beat me to the punch.
Yeah, you're welcome. So but also during this episode, you also have Cpatain Atom, who's like an Air Force dude. He's now called back onto active duty, which and placed against the Justice League. And I really liked that whole aspect of it, even though to a degree it makes no sense.
I mean, he's still military, and they're just kind of pulling that string. What I liked is at the end of the episode, you could kind of hear he wishes he didn't have to do this, but orders are orders. Like he's gonna do it anyway. But like you can just the voice actor does a really good job of you can tell he would rather not be doing this.
Mm-hmm. Of course, because he's going against Superman, the hero that everyone looks up to.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing that I really digged about this episode is again, and this is one of the strengths of Justice League Unlimited, is that you're pairing up an iconic hero with Huntress is still to a degree iconic, but it's like the character that even people outside of comics knows, with like a relatively obscure character.
I don't know. I feel like Huntress is more well known than the Question.
What I mean is, compared to Superman, Huntress is obscure.
Okay, that I'll agree with, but I was more comparing Question and Huntress.
Huntress is more well known than the Question, no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. But my point is, in this show, you can have like the characters everyone thinks of when they think of DC, and the less well known, all the way down to the Z-listers.
I mean, literally, Shining Knight makes an appearance.
Yeah, I know. And again, that's why I love that. That's one of the things I love about this universe is that it feels like a giant world, because you have all these characters that just show up. And you said it a lot of times when we're talking about Justice League Unlimited, the fun part is that you could see like random characters like Vibe show up in the background.
Yeah, Richard Dragon just hanging about.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go over some little trivia right now. So Superman and Captain Atom defeat Mantis of Being of Apocalypse. That is true. In the Plastino Street Station, an homage to Al Plastino, the Silver Age Superman comic artist. There you go.
Oh, nice.
I like that. They do that occasionally when like there'll be streets that like Siegel and Schuster Avenue or something like that, which I like.
Yeah,
that.
Arrow
Cool.
Arrow did that a lot.
Mm-hmm. The episode reveals that the DCAU version of Captain Atom's Atom is named Nathaniel Adams. He was named Alan Adams in the original Charleston comics and Nathaniel Adams in the DC version. And then in DC Comics, General Eiling, the original antagonist of Captain Atom. First, he framed then Captain Nathaniel Atom for murder, which led to Adam's disgrace, court-martial, and imprisonment. Then Eiling blackmailed Atom into participating in a military experiment that transformed him into living energy and shunted him 20 years into the future. During the years of Adam's absence, Eiling married Adam's wife and raised Adam's children as his own. Oh my gosh. Even after Adam's return and became Captain Atom, Eiling was his commanding officer for years and constantly made life difficult for the quantum-powered superhero. That is sinister.
Did Bruce Timm write those issues?
Thank you. No, it'd be a different one. It would be more akin to Bruce Timm if Eiling was sleeping with Captain Adams's semi-adult daughter.
You're right. Alan Moore wrote those issues.
Nice. The Cadmus data files names contain several nods to literature and comics. Zarathustra may be referring to the code name to the British government program called Miracle Man. Multiverse is a DC Comics continuity construct, like we have explained many times, alternate realities. Flashpoint 23 may refer to the next episode, which is the 23rd episode of Justice League Unlimited. The number 23 also has significance to the Illuminati group that Question mentions. And
also,
go ahead.
Also, this is kind of like a reference in hindsight.
Mm-hmm.
When did Flashpoint the movie come out?
Let me see.
2023.
Well, are you talking?
They didn't
like the Flash, but still Flashpoint. That is really funny, actually. The way that.
Okay, they in no way intended this, but come on, it works.
It does work. Brazil Boys seem to be referring to an Ira Lennon novel, The Boys from Brazil, which deals with a conspiracy to clone a new leader of the German army in World War II. Wallow followed through with a very similar conspiracy and launching the Project Batman Beyond. More on that in the epilogue episode.
When we get to it.
Istar Shop possibly refers to the novel The Weapons Shop of Istar by A.E. Van Gogh. The novel's principal theme is the right to bear arms. Interesting. Question claims that his distaste for Luther as a human being is Brobdingnagian. This adjective refers to the fictional land of giants from Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels. The adjective has come to describe anything of colossal size. That's interesting. This is the third time in the DCAU when Superman and Lois Lane have kissed.
Best
obviously.
episode ever. You literally have that queued up.
Yeah, I was trying to find the right clip to properly show my rage. The soda that Superman takes on his date with Lois is Soda Cola, a brand frequently promoted by Booster Gold in his comics. There you go. The greatest
also uses potions in DCU Online.
Yes, exactly. The question states A is A. When talking to Luther, a tenet in logic and philosophy called the law of identity. It states that everything that exists has a specific nature. It could also be a pretty clear nod to Question's creator, Steve Ditko, a firm believer in Ayn Rand's objectivism, and by default, the law of identity. Question actually started out as an XB of Ditko's previous character, Mr. A representation of his objectivist views in vigilante form. Well done, Nick.
I have my moments.
Question's theory about fluoride ties with his got fluoride poster in the Fearful Symmetry and Double Date. And that's a poster that, by the way, was spelled wrong in the thing intentionally.
Oh, okay.
I actually highlighted it in the episode. The magic bullet mentioned by the question refers to the assassination of JFK, specifically to the single bullet theory that hypothesizes the existence of another assassin besides Lee Harvey Oswald.
I mean, you can't really do a conspiracy theorist without touching upon the JFK assassination.
Yeah, there are some of them you have to. Like if it were nowadays, question will be talking about how 9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of other ones, but we can't mention them without getting canceled. So
True. Question mentions the Illuminati, a secret society subject of many conspiracy theories, probably not merely by coincidence. Some elements of the DCAU version of Cadmus bear resemblance to the way the Illuminati is traditionally portrayed in fiction as an alliance between big business and shadowy branches of the government. And it's kind of funny. This is before the Court of Owls were a thing.
wow.
And I'm like, I wonder if Scott Snyder saw this episode and was like, oh, wait a second. I could work with that. I could definitely work with that.
Okay, if you ever meet Scott Snyder, you need to ask him.
I'm going to ask him that. I'm going to have him sign my my copy of Court of Owls. Dr. Hamilton compares Superman's betrayal to that of Lucifer, the first and most loved among the angels in Christian tradition, until he betrayed God and was cast out
A
of
bit
heaven.
on the nose, but works.
Well, yeah, and it's also kind of the idea, because Superman has always been seen as like this Christ figure, or like a very, like this way, religious themes are often associated with the Man of Steel. So
I mean,
this
the
kind
Man of
makes
Steel
sense.
movie literally carried forward those themes as well.
When he flies out of Zod's ship and assumes the Christ pose, I'm like, okay.
Oh my
that's
god,
really
I
on the
love.
nose.
I was watching the Nostalgia Critic review of it, and he's like, "I am Jesus." And he started chanting that when he did that.
I love that. That's good. And then it's like when he's talking to the priest, you have the Christ in the garden, like stained glass window there. And I'm like, okay, I see what
That's
you're doing
actually
there.
like one of my favorite scenes in the movie. My favorite moment is when he says it to the priest, like the priest gulps, and then
You
he
can tell he's
pauses,
scared.
but then he does his job. Like, oh my god, I love that. Like that, I love that priest. Like, you know.
Speaking of a positive portrayal of priests, so there you go. We get so few of those. So
Thank you, Zach.
thank you. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Zack Snyder. Who knew he could do representation right? So
It's almost like he cares about what he's making.
yeah. So in terms of of other characters that show up in this episode, I figured I'd go through them. Black Canary,
Okay.
Blue Devil, Commander Steel, Crimson Fox, Dr. Light, Fire, Green Arrow. And by the way, Fire will show up prominently in a future episode of Justice League. So don't worry if you don't necessarily
So
know
this girl
who she
will
is.
be on fire.
This girl is on fire. Green Arrow, Ice, Johnny Thunder, John Jones, Metamorpho, Nemesis, Red Tornado, Sand, the arch enemy of Anakin Skywalker, Shining Knight, Stargirl, Steel, Wave Rider, Jimmy Olsen, Commissioner Henderson, and the Justice Lord's Flash. And I hope, it's kind of funny. J.K. Simmons played Mantis and General Ealing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I really, I didn't necessarily notice his, notice that was him. So I'm like, okay, that's actually really cool.
You know, we should just get General Eiling some pictures of Spider-Man. That should calm him down.
Yeah. That'll get him. Get me his picture.
I must say, hearing J.K. Simmons doing that role was quite the whiplash.
Of course.
Oh, you get the joke because he started a movie called Whiplash.
Yeah, and didn't they take the audio from Whiplash and put that with Legend of Korra clips?
I think I actually showed it to you once.
Yeah, that was the greatest thing ever.
By the way, Supergirl is in that movie.
Yes.
Melissa Benoist is the girlfriend in that movie.
And
You need to watch it.
Tila from Masters of the Universe. So there you go. And so, Emil Hamilton is played by Robert Foxworth. Obviously, we have George Newbern. So it's pretty much all the characters return. And all in all, this is a pretty solid episode. So, Nick, how would you rate this episode out of 10?
9.5 out of 10. I would give it a 10, but only because like I just, as much as I want to, I just can't just hand out 10s like candy. This is a 9.5.
Now, what I'm going to do when we complete the Cadmus arc, which should be in about 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going to have you rate the Cadmus arc as a whole. Because
All right,
I get
cool,
the feeling that could get to a 10. So for me, it's a 10 out of 10 because I like how it weaves together conspiracy theories, how it shows Superman doing stuff that's in a way on Superman-y because it kind of goes in the face of the Superman stereotype that he's like a government lapdog. I mean, he says just so he can say he said it, we have to do this by the law. Okay, so here's what we're actually going to do. So I like that. So I'm like, okay, I very much enjoyed this. It features Question and Huntress, which I love those two characters. They're like two of my favorite characters in the show.
Yeah.
And you can't go wrong with Amanda Waller and Clancy Brown. You really can't.
By the way, I officially declare them Cutress.
Cutress, yes, exactly. So, on that note, let us know below in the comments what you guys thought of this episode. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm, particularly liking. And be sure to subscribe to the to this channel in the Phoenix Press. All of his information will be in the description below. And I think we're gonna wrap it up. So stay heroic, and I can't think of a better episode to say this. Lois Lane is Lois Lame. See you later.